Sunday, August 13, 2011. This is a 1993 Subaru Impreza, and this isn't going to be a full DIY video because I decided to just take a little video while I was already partway through the job, but it seems like this might be useful. This here is an automatic Subaru Impreza front-wheel drive, and ever since I bought this car about 2 years ago, the gear selector does not want to come out of park. So when you start the car and you step on the brake, it doesn't come out of park. Well, there is an emergency release mechanism. Now, normally, you know, when the center console here is all together, this cover plate sits right here. And I knew that if you pull the cover plate off, there is this hole right here. And if you stick a screwdriver or something through there, there is a release button, which will allow you to put the car into drive. So what I did was I got a new, rather than mess up the original, I got another cover plate here from the junkyard, drilled a hole in it, and I made this piece here, which is just two brand new, not sure if they're cotter pins or whatever, but something like that, just electrical tape together to form a rod, which kind of permanently sits in there. So, you know, when you start the car, you press this down, you can get it into gear. It's been working perfectly fine for 2 years, but just having that kind of a workaround kind of annoyed me. So did a little research on the internet, and it seems like this is a fairly common problem. So and it appears that the problem is not so much the electrical switch in here, but there's a mechanical portion with there's a mechanical lockout, which over time does get gummed up, mostly by people, you know, spilling, you know, coffee and sodas in here. Obviously that wasn't my wife and I, but you know, previous owners of the car. So I took the center console off. I was actually getting ready to take the whole centerpiece out here, but I realized I don't have to do that. So there's really just for the front piece here, there's 4 screws holding it in. 2 here, 2 down there. And then for the rear piece, which is, let me get it back, let me show you here without spilling anything. This is the rear piece. You can see the screw there. There's one screw hole there. There's one on each side of that. And then one inside this compartment right here, right in the bottom. So 3 screws holding that in. Get those 2 pieces out. Looks like I didn't even actually have to take the stereo and the whole center console out, but that goes back in a few minutes, so that's not a big deal. So you probably, I don't think, have to do that at all. And then there's 4 more screws holding this cover plate down. I already have 3 of them out. Gonna loosen that there. That should probably come out by hand now. Obviously you don't want to drop anything in here. And of course this gets the cover plate off. But which of course is now jamming on the handle here. Looks like I have to take the handle off too, which I think is just these 2 screws right at the bottom. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put the camera down to do that. Okay, I have the cover plate and the handle off, so you can see this is how the release mechanism works. Now, right here, this seems to be some sort of a, the white thing is some sort of a solenoid, which supposedly when you step on the brakes, it is supposed to pull this in here, therefore, you know, not getting in the way here of this pin, which is, I believe, how it works. Or is the pin the thing that moves? That's a good question. I think this is supposed to pull in and then get out of the way of the pin. So, when you manually hit the release lever, what it does is it pushes this arm out of the way, and therefore you can shift, because otherwise you can see what happens right here. This gets in the way, but if you push the, see? So that's how that works. So in theory, there's something just gummed up in here which I can fix, but really not entirely sure I'm seeing what the problem is. So I'm going to play around with this for a while. If I see anything that is really obvious, I will take another video to let you know. But that's how you get this apart in theory to deal with it. And what I've heard people say is that you basically just have to spray the whole thing down with Windex and just let the dirt in there dissolve. Obviously, I don't want to spray Windex into anything, especially electrical here, until I understand exactly what I'm doing. So I'm going to play around with this a bit. If I can figure out some more, I'll take some more video for you. Otherwise, this may be the cutoff point for this video. Really just, and this is really just kind of supposed to be taken as just what this looks like on the inside and some information about it. This isn't exactly a how-to. So, you know, use this information. Just be smart with it.